Welcome back to Chapter 3. We are meeting back up with our party as they have entered the belly of the beast. We are in the Shadowfell, and Winston has just taken possession of all of them. We're going to see how that plays out.
Right. So the last thing that happens is you make it through this pass, fighting pretty much the Headless Horseman. And on the other side of this pass is this sprawling city. It looks like if it was in the world that you all live in, a pretty strong replica of the city you guys just left the world in. And like that could be the amount of people / unruly beasts and monsters that are in this city. And upon exiting the corridor, a ghoul motions for you all to come down because he can see you from the gate, which is our gate representation right here. That he sees you because literally you're in a dome, so kind of like under the dome style dome, but it's like the Shadowfell's on the outside of this dome, and this little city exists inside it, and it's like you can barely. It's like right before there's no light is kind of how the light is all throughout this area. And you get the feeling that that's pretty much the way the light is, no matter what time of day or hour or time of year that is, if there is years. Alright? So you guys approach the ghoul, and the ghoul says, "It's been a long time since we saw an elder vampire in these parts. Are these humanoids yours then?" And Winston answered,
"Yes, they are mine."
and that's where we ended it, so that's where we're going to begin it. Alright?
Like I said, Winston just took possession of the rest of the party.
Mm-hmm.
To save our lives, but he still did.
Oh, do you want to go over your little new power thing before you can tell everybody about your stuff?
Yes. I gained something when I leveled up level 9. It's called Bond of the Brotherhood. So I can use this, and it gives up to 6 living creatures within a 30-foot radius that accept it, this Bond of Brotherhood. And so what that does is that gives you a added D4 to a attack roll, ability check, or saving throw 1 time per turn.
That's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
For 10 minutes, right?
For 10 minutes, yeah. So pretty much active the entire battle once it's except unless we have 100 round battle. That would take 4 hours.
Yeah, that'd be a long time.
That would be a long time. Whew.
Alright.
But yeah, so pretty much it's active the entire battle, and so after tonight, I'm gonna try and dig a little bit into D&D Beyond and see if I can figure out a way to add it to where we can all add it.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's cast, it like shows up automatically. But we're gonna mess with it and see if it works. But tonight, I'm just gonna help you guys, help remind you, like, hey, you have that D4 before your turn, kind of thing. Don't forget about it. You can add it to an attack roll, ability check, or a saving throw.
Alright, and also, so these representatives that we have on the map are of different things in the city that are pretty large in comparison to the other places in the city. So this back here is like a 2-story building that it looks like a house that has been built up to 2 stories. So it's not like defensible or anything, it's just a 2-story place. The gate actually is going to be some sort of cathedral. There's a cathedral there in the city. There is a big castle in the city too that's all black. All the stone is black in the castle, and then there's another big building that's sort of similar to the one in the back. That's a 2-story building that's pretty large and in charge. But this ghoul has just engaged you in conversation, which y'all have fought ghouls before that have not really wanted to converse with you. So, what y'all do?
I guess we're gonna follow it.
Okay, Master, where are we going?
I don't know. What should we do, guys?
Probably you should ask the ghoul what we can do.
I have a strong feeling that if we don't act like he's our master, we could go south for us quickly.
I agree.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink,
Maybe
wink.
I should turn into
Steve,
my
are you
wolf
catching
form.
my drift, Steve? I need you to. Are you catching my drift, Steve?
Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Winston, our Lord and Savior, thank you so much for saving us from a life of uncertainty.
Cut it out.
Yes.
Maybe I should turn into wolf form and like let him pet me. I think I would his pet or something. If wolf, the old
Winston
legend.
could pet you?
Werewolves are
I
always.
thought you were talking about the ghoul.
No.
And I was like, Ixnay on the wolf day, Rago day. Stop it.
I wonder if there's hot ghoul women in here.
We should probably find a place where we can rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 of 10.
I'll walk up to the ghoul and I'll ask him, do you know where we can stay?
But what kind of accommodations are you searching for?
Nothing too fancy. This long. Don't need much at all.
We can.
Just a place to lay my head.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Sorry there, sir, master.
We have a punishment house if you would like me to take him.
No, it's fine. He's
Awen
new.
steps
He's
right
new
behind
to this.
Winston and just like, that's on you. Go.
He's new to this.
That one is on you, sir. I'm out. Let's get going.
Well, we have a fair bit of places for humanoids in the city. There's one. It's not very friendly to your sort or my sort. It's called the Undead Unwelcome Pub. You can kind of guess how they feel about us by that. But that's the only place that's really safe for humanoids. The fact that you've claimed these means that they might not be in danger other places, but some people get, a little bloodthirsty and make a leap anyways.
All right. Point us in the right direction.
Well, the other place, the hopping place for vampires is the Seguin Lodge, so you can go there if you'd like to.
And who hangs out around there?
Mainly, lots of humanoids, some that are dismembered, some not, and then there's most of the vampire in the city. It's owned by, I believe, Jedediah is the owner. He's one of the 3 elder vampires in the city.
One of the 3, you say?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is he gonna raise a barn on Sunday?
Here, what do you think?
Who knew raise a barn?
Just for that.
I'm thinking in my head. Can you hear me in my head?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm asking about werewolves. How do they feel about werewolves?
Awen is just like in
And how do they feel about werewolves?
What do you mean? What is that?
How are werewolves welcome in the city?
You need to be more descriptive than that. I don't know. What is this werewolf thing that you're talking about?
All right, thank you. Can you point me in the direction of the
I would say don't go
undead unwelcome?
So this is the birthplace of the werewolves, right? Or the vampires.
Uh-huh.
Now you know that werewolves are not around here.
Werewolves and vampires, just like in all of the movies. Not
Mhm.
very friendly.
Yeah, any emotions
So
down
go to the
down the
undead
road.
unwelcome.
Yes, master.
Should we?
Yes,
You guys want
master.
to? Okay,
He-
let's go to the undead unwelcome.
He's asking you out of earshot because the guy already pointed you down the road. So
Hey,
now,
look. He hunches up. Drago hunches over. Yes, master.
Abby
Where would you
normal.
like to go, master?
Abby normal.
the Drago, I know a good chiropractor who could maybe help you out with that back issue.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Man, Steve, you're like our Agent Coulson.
I don't know what that means.
Steve, if I had a deck of many
Neither
things,
do I.
Steve, if I had a deck of many things, you'd be the first one I'd want to pull. You're that kind of guy.
Thank you.
Again, I don't know what you're talking about.
But now you're out of earshot, so you can't. As you're walking down, there's like a trail that
Okay.
leads into the city. So
I'll even ask you in your head. Where do you guys want to go? Which one?
He said the safest place
Dude,
was
the non-vampire.
not
The
dead.
non-vampire. Like,
Then we'll keep,
Now-
then we'll keep
probably
walking
be
to the
safe.
undead
I'm
and
not
welcome.
gonna
You want to drop us off, and then you go the other place. We'll stay in contact as long as you're not very far.
So what are y'all doing?
We're going to the undead and welcome.
Okay, so weird. So I know I've used this analogy before, but it's like a sweet. This is for sure a sweet smell of death this time, because you walk into the equivalent of the market district of this town, and there's like normal humanoid creatures selling normal humanoid wares, and there's just a bunch of different like trinkets and foods that they're selling, and they do look a little odd. So one of them, there's two types. One sort of look like drow. They're just very pale, but they look kind of elderly too. They look like pretty old. The other is covered in feathers and they have a beak. So those are the two types of humanoids. Everybody else is dead that's in the city. And there's also the undead creatures that are selling their undead stuff, which, I mean, there's some of you, Eowyn actually probably, roll a constitution saving throw for me.
Mm-hmm.
Why'd you roll in there? What'd you get?
A 1? It
Oh!
was a 3.
So Eowyn, he walks by in one of these booths. There's like literally this dismembered like arms and legs that are hanging, and there's price tags attached to them, and he just chucks it on the back of Drago's shoes. There's so much busyness going on in the city that
Really?
they don't notice.
My bad.
You're lucky.
It's gross, bro. Gross.
No, that.
Of all the beers you drink, you still not yak that. You get one little piece of foot, and it freaks you out, and you throw up all over it.
That is not a foot. That's feet. As in a lot of feet. And there's a lot of them over there, and that's gross.
All right. So where are y'all headed then?
Bella, go on.
To the
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a skull, and then unwelcome, and then pub there beside it. And the door, like, there's people like the bird feather creatures and some of the elderly looking drow creatures like coming in and out of this door that you can walk on in.
Eowyn runs up and opens the door and goes, "After you, master."
I walk in accordingly.
All right, you recoil from this barrier that does not allow you to go into this place of establishment.
I look at them angrily, as if it's their fault. I say, "What did you do?"
Eowyn looks at him and goes to put his hand through the barrier. And then looks
Yeah,
back
you're totally
at
good.
and then looks back at Drago and is like,
No, I just look at Winston, and I'm like, bro, I told you. We'll chill out here. You go find the vampire place, mingle, greet, find out what you can. We'll stay here because we'll be safe.
apparently we will be safe from vampires at least.
Well, don't get in trouble.
You
And
too.
I'll walk off towards the other vampire place.
Who am I standing next to, Winston? What am I supposed to do with this? Alright? Argus, definitely gonna need your help on keeping Drago in check.
All right,
Keep
so
me in check.
so Argus and Drago and Eowyn enter this area. So let's put them off to the side here. Oh, do you want Steve to go with them, Isaiah?
Yeah, Steve will come with me.
All right. All right. So there's a few tables set up throughout in this area. Oh, that's upside
Get
down.
over, my dude.
Yeah. I don't have any humans here, so this guy is going to be behind the bar, but he's not a creature.
He's a human?
He is a
He's a human.
He's a humanoid. He's one of those bird feather folk. All right, but the mood throughout this bar is pretty somber. All right, it's not. There's not a lot of talking, table to table. There's muttering going on from place to place, and as y'all walk in, it all vanishes. Like, kind of like Old West style. Everybody turns and looks at you as you walk in this room.
Eowyn looks up at Drago and goes, "I feel safe. I'm gonna drink."
Me too.
Rolls over to the bar.
Argus, you think you can lighten up the place a little bit and maybe play some tunes?
I think I'd be better talking to individuals.
Okay. Fine. I'm gonna go
I'm
to the
getting a
bar.
drink.
Okay, so the bartender is one of those feathery creatures that have the beak. So y'all are walking up there. Steve's probably following you, and Argus, are you going to go to a table with the drow-looking creatures that look a bit older, or are you going to the tables with the bird feather creatures?
The drow.
All right, so I'll just put you off here to the side here. All right. So what do y'all say when you walk up to this
I
bar?
walk up to the bar. 3 of your finest, please.
Finest what? What would you like? We have a darker ale and we have a lighter ale. Which one would you prefer?
3 lighters, please.
No, I'll definitely take 3 of your darker.
So 3 of each, or
Yeah.
One.
3 of him,
Okay.
3 for me. Yeah, for sure.
oh,
Okay,
okay,
Roger,
yeah,
bet.
I
It's
got
been a
you.
long day.
Yeah, we get outsiders never, so I don't know why. Well, here, let me get you some beers. I'm assuming you don't have any currency that would be worth anything here, right?
We have
I
gold.
got some gold.
Uh, what is the? I mean, sure. You know what? I'll take your gold. And he you don't even have to pay him really, but he takes the gold and he gives you the drinks and he's like, "So, how did you even get here?"
Long story. Fell through a hole. Now we're here.
Fell through a crack.
Mm.
Defeated a headless dude. And now we're here.
How about
Pretty
you?
much in that order.
How'd you get here?
No, I've been here since I was hatched. When I was born, I was
Yeah.
here.
Real fast. Where is here?
This is Grim Hollow.
Grim Hollow.
Yeah, this is where, I mean, this is the city. I mean, I've never been beyond whatever's out there. I know the Night Mother protects us against the terrors that are out there, but that's all really.
Do you think the Night Mother could be our Raven Queen?
Hey, be careful what you tell these guys.
Oh, I wasn't talking to him. I was talking to Drago.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, it's a nice place. I like the black.
Nice beer.
The ale's really good.
Ale is delicious.
It's imported. Obviously, we don't have any room to, you know.
Imported?
Grow
Imported
from
from
that.
where?
You'll see in about an hour, I guess. We get deliveries every few days.
Who delivers it? In Grimhoff. How did they get here?
Oh, the people that can travel from place to place in Grim Hollow. Or from, I mean, I'm assuming that there's other towns out here like us, but we can't get to them. And there's untold nasties outside of these borders is what I've grown up being told. And so, and plus, you just can't get out. I don't know how you got in. I still don't. So,
We don't. Like I said,
Yeah.
we went through a crack, killed a headless dude, and then we just got spit out in front of the door.
We were playing tag. I was it.
Yeah.
And we fell through a crack.
playing like a game?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't believe in games. Not in the Shadowfell.
Cool.
We have no games here!
All right, so
Like
we
you-
go to this table.
This bartender would get the Nazi knock joke for sure.
You go to the table, Dad, and are you just gonna like interweave yourself into this conversation with these drow-looking creatures?
Yep.
All right, so yeah, they're murmuring so much so that you can't even hear what they're saying. What are you gonna do to get up on and close with them?
I'm going to use my charm to try to talk to them and find out, who they are and how this happened. Why are we the only ones who can be in here? What's going on?
All right, so roll just a straight charisma check, which is at the top by your modifier. You
Yeah,
just-
no, I'm trying to. There you go.
I can't see it.
21.
Oh, it's a 21.
Oh, here we go. Now it comes up for me. But it says no game activity. Why not? All right. So they seem to be taken aback as well to see anybody but either what they are or the bird creatures. But they kind of just make room for you at their table. And what do you say as they're kind of scooting around and you just kind of worm your way up into this?
I'm trying to figure out who they are.
Like the people group, or like who they are as people?
I can just picture Argus walking to the table going, papers, please, papers, please.
I'm trying to get to know who they are and why they're here instead of in Mesbrine.
Instead of what?
Mesbrine or
Oh, okay. So you try to tell them like you're all right. So talk to like you're trying to figure out why they're not in the Underdark with the rest of the Drow.
yeah.
Okay. And so one of the oldest looking crippled people of the group says, "We're not Drow.
Oh, then what are you?
My ancestors were brought here long ago. I mean, I was not born, but from the stories that have been told to me, the sun has never shined here and never will shine here, and so I've grown up in this. I'm an elf, just a regular elf. This is what the Shadowfell has done to us. I'm only 400, which is a young elf. That actually is a young elf.
Wow. So why are you guys here in this area?
I mean, we don't have much why answered for that, but all we know is that our survival depends on the Night Mother keeping us safe from the outside terrors. But if we could just like some of our foolhardy youth are being really, really dumb at the moment.
In what way?
They're seeking out the vampires. They see it as, huh?
Why would they do that?
They view this life as very awful, which, well, it is. But they look for the escape, and their escape, they think, is to become one of them.
So do you have masters?
What?
Do you have masters?
We take steps to ensure we have no masters. That's not. I mean, the vampires, if they really wanted us, could get us at any moment. But the three vampires, they rule the city.
And where are they at?
They don't associate with the lower class there and their respective places throughout the city.
Well, what happens to somebody who's captured? Where do they go?
It depends on what group. If the ghouls capture you, then you're taken to the mortuarium where they inject you with a paralysis and bury you alive and put you in the cemetery where the undead will hear your screams and then dig you up and eat you because your adrenaline makes you that much tastier.
Okay, I'm looking for somebody and was just wondering if you could help me.
If they look like you, I'm afraid I've never met anyone that looks like you or your folk there.
I look like you, though.
Who'd be that?
Huh?
No, he looks. I said that the Drow and these group. He tells you they're Shadrakai is what they're called.
Okay.
And the Drow look different, and than them because the drows have like bluish skin and they're just so
Yeah.
pale.
Yeah.
People are that they like have never seen the sun, and they just look really, really like like they didn't age well at all. Like they have more wrinkles than they should. As
Yeah.
far as this kind of goes, but they do have white hair that's kind of the same as the drow.
Right. I asked them if they see any dwarves, especially female.
No, she's not female. She's human.
Oh,
She was female.
She was female. She's
Female.
not a dwarf.
She's not a dwarf. Sorry.
Yeah, and they say pretty much if it's not a Shadowkai or an Aarakocra or someone undead, then they've never seen them before. And the Aarakocra are the birds. All right.
Birds work for the bush.
All right, let's go to Winston real fast.
They probably
and
do.
we'll come back.
You just wait.
All right, Winston,
So,
are you going to the Seguin Lounge?
indeed.
Lounge. All right. So there's two vampire that guard this doorway that you're walking through. That they look. You've never seen like lesser vampires than you, but they look like lesser. Like they don't look like they are on the same level as you. So they don't have. They look mostly undead. Is how you can tell the difference. But they have the fangs and.
I'm walking in, totally just like I belong there. You know what I mean? Like I'm just walking
He
in,
owns the place.
opening it up.
They don't stop you as you walk in there.
Of course I know. I think he's an elder vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, he is an elder vampire.
You walk into this place, and literally throughout, all throughout this area, what you see is it's like a common room, and there's like a guy, like a few different humanoids that are in the bar. They're not being messed with, but their only job is to go around and blow out candles and light candles to make it like the lights are flickering. And then there's just a lot of dancing going on. There's some feasting going on, and certain humanoids that are throughout the room. There's zombie bartenders that are all like back that are pouring like glasses of blood. There's like 8 different vampires spawn there in this room. Yeah.
I look for like a little VIP area. You know, like anywhere there's like like some comfy benches and a table. You know what I mean? Or like a little comfy like circle bench with a table in it or something.
So if you look to the east, in the east wing, there's like literally like one of those velvet rope things, and there's a door that leads off the side, but there's 2 vampire spawn that have not left for that area either.
I'm gonna walk over there.
All right, so you walk up on them, and they actually do go to like come together so that you can't just walk through.
Did they say anything?
No, they're kind of waiting for you to address them. They just kind of like do a snarl face, but not a like aggressive snarl. It's just like you don't have permission to go there kind of thing.
are they vampires?
Yeah.
Okay.
Move out of my way.
What business do you have with the proprietor of this establishment?
And that's none of your concern.
No one gets an audience with Jedediah without our say so.
I'm here by personal invitation.
Is that so?
It is.
I was not
Now
made aware.
let me pass before I tell him that you're holding me up.
All right, you can roll a persuasion check. I'll say if it's not great, then I will make them go get him, or go ask before they just let you up there. If not, they'll let you go.
Got no weapon.
Right. It's like, so you have a personal invitation. Is that what you're going with?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go ask him, and I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Very cool, man.
So now there's one vampire.
Does he open the door at all? So as he walks inside, I misty step next to him, put my arm around him, and like I'm assuming Jedediah is there at this point. Like I'm like
No, this is the east wing, so he's gonna actually go up the stairs at the end of the hall.
okay. I'm still misty stepping to the other side of the door and like walking beside him at this point.
in this situation. All right, even or odds? Because I don't actually know.
Evens.
All right, evens. You tell me what happens. That's an 18. So how does he react in terms of how you walk into this area?
I step next to him, and like I blink next to him, and he looks at me, and I'm like, I told you I was coming in here. And then he just like doesn't do anything about it.
All right,
That's
so
fair.
I'll say we can roll with the way that that went down. That he's a little bit intimidated by you, and plus you are an elder vampire, so he is thinking in the back of his mind that he thinks that his boss knows you, so he's gonna take you up to see him. All right, so
Play hard ass to be fun. Play bad. To be fun. I mean, not that you have to play it, but be a hard ass to be fun.
all right, so Winston, as you go up these steps that he takes you up, he opens the door and motions you inside of this room, and you walk into this. It's like a master bedroom suite, and there's like this guy looks like he was at one point a person, but he is just so like he's probably easily 1,000 pounds, and he is laying on his bed, and he has fanged mouths all over him, not just in one spot, and they're all sucking blood from all these different tubes that are like attached that are running through the walls to him. And
Whoa.
yeah, as you come in, the guy that's like leading you shuts the door and like leaves the room, and instead of him addressing you as you're in this bedchamber with this guy now, you feel his voice fill your mind, which is ironic that you went here first.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
Dude, that is how I got
100%, yeah.
I was gonna say, so like I have written here, Blade intro.
It's just,
Yes!
it's just like Blade,
The
the
fat dude or the fat girl. Or
fat
whatever.
Yeah.
guy sitting on that.
Oh, I forgot about that guy. But the intro downstairs
going-
is what I wanted.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
intro
No,
downstairs
yeah.
is kind of what I wanted you to picture.
Yes.
It's like a big pus.
He's like
blood, basically.
just like
Like, he's got
a
little hands,
700
little
pound-
Because he's been
Yeah.
sucking. That's all he does.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right, so you hear this voice in it. It's a little off-putting. It's like, I don't know you.
Hello there.
General, can you?
What is your business in my establishment?
I don't know. I'm just came to the Shadowfell.
No one just comes to the Shadowfell.
Well, I'm a vampire now. You see.
Are you an offspring of one of the elder vampires?
Um.
You could say that.
Yeah, you could say that.
Which are you an offspring of? I'm an original.
I don't feel like that's any of your business.
Strahd.
What do you want then?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you know the deck of many things?
This deck you speak of. Why do you want it?
Let's just say I'm a big fan of playing cards.
Then you know the deck is not something you would draw from willingly.
And that is a matter of perspective, I think.
I think you should go.
I think you
As
should.
he's like, you hear it slurping from like all these different mouths all over.
So I'll take it you know where it is then. Is there like a chair, like a desk in there somewhere?
Sure, there is a chair in there.
I go and sit down at his desk, kind of like put my feet up on the table, and I take out my pipe and light it. As I ask him, I'm like, so you know where it is then, right?
You must be an offspring. You would show me greater respect if you were an original.
Why is that? Enlighten me.
Because my name is the Devourer. It's Jedediah the Devourer. And as he says the Devourer, there's a psychic energy. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
You
I
done messed,
choose to succeed.
you
Okay.
done messed up, A.A.
But I should have rolled in there. 24.
But what? You said but.
Hmm?
You said but. What'd you say? But what?
I was gonna say, but let me add it.
Alright, so you want half damage or you want the effect of not be as bad? Because I'm going to give you either half damage or full damage or the effect not being as bad.
The effect. I'll take the damage.
Alright, so there's a blast of psionic energy that comes out from this bed chamber, or this bed, and it blasts you backwards against the wall, and it actually blasts you through the wall to where you're hanging from the outside, and you take 28 points of psychic damage, but you're hanging on in this upstairs bedroom. And that's where we'll switch back for a second. Alright, so you all are talking to the bartender. What's going down as you... Anything else that you want to talk to this bartender about?
Yeah, Drago looks at the bartender and says, "Hey, barmaid, a couple questions for you. You said you lived here your whole life.
That's indeed true.
I'm looking for something of importance to me. And I was told that it was here in the Shadowfell. It's,
So Eowyn's with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So choose your words. What are you saying?
I'm not going to tell him what it is, if that's what you're wanting to know. I'm just going to ask him specifically. I'll replay it. So I'm just trying to figure out.
We're looking for something that's really powerful. And it's probably held by somebody of pretty high importance. Where would something like that be in the city?
Or some type of magic castle where no one dare goes.
So you want to freely roam the Shadowfell, huh?
Let's just say I'm willing to take that chance.
Yeah, how do we find this night lady?
The Night Mother.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant, the night mother. Yeah.
The Night Mother, obviously I haven't seen him before. I can tell you, you should talk to, his name is Bart. He's a real pain in the ass. He always wants me to let him in here. And I say, no Bart, you're undead, you're a skeleton, I can't let you in, go away. And him and his little swinky pirate hat just tries to walk in anyways, and it bounces off every time. But I tell him he can't come in here. But he has some real outlandish views. He thinks he can get us all out of here. I doubt that's a thing that'll ever happen, but I do know that the only way out is by holding a medallion that our knights, they call them, I don't like nicknames, the Shadow Legion is what they call them, but they're the ones that deliver us supplies, and they can move about freely.
You said that you're knights, so they're part of your kind?
No. They take care of us on behalf of the Night Mother. But I mean,
so they're her knights.
They take as much as they give, I would say.
Okay. Do you know where we could find one of these knights?
In a couple hours they'll be here.
And do you know where we could maybe find this Bart?
You look pirate hat, skeleton, hard to miss. Just saying.
Yeah.
He's got 2 cutlass.
I wrote it down. So you're good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Alright. I think I'm gonna like that guy anyways. Pirate, skeleton.
I was kind of thinking the
Fun
same thing.
guy.
Him and Steve are getting along.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Barkeep. You've been pretty helpful. I look at Eowyn and what do you think? You want to stay around for a couple hours? Wait for these nights?
Yeah. I'm down to let's go to bed, maybe chill for a little bit. We can hang out until these guys show up. More information.
Drago whistles really loud. Hey, Argus!
Wait, Argus, are you gonna talk any more to these people before he whistles at you? Because that'll be That could be the end part if you want.
I'm asking them, is there a place here where people keep sacred things?
So, kind of almost emotionlessly, they say there's nothing sacred here.
And why do you stay here? Won't you leave?
I don't think you understand how uncommon it is that you're here. Like, we've never seen whatever you are, whatever your friends are, all that we've grown up around and seen as us and undead.
Who rules?
That'd be the three elder vampires here.
What are their names?
So, I'll say Jedediah first. The Devourer is what he goes by. They all have a the name beside it if you want to write it down. He's kind of the business one of the group.
Somebody writing this down?
Yeah, Caleb is.
Okay.
You got Victor the Bone Crusher. He's the muscle. And then you have Drusilla the Crazed, and she likes to
Who is that?
It's Drusilla the Crazed. Drusilla.
Scylla.
The Crazed.
Ma'am, what's Buffy? Come on.
I got that. I wanted a woman vampire name that I thought sounded good, and she's good for this.
No, I
so,
love Buffy.
Yeah. So
I'm like, you don't know who Drusilla is from Buffy?
Yeah, she was Spike's chick.
Yeah.
That was cray cray.
but she likes to take us and do experiments on us. She doesn't even turn us or drain us.
Okay.
So she's into BSM.
All right, at that point, you get yelled at by Eowyn, and then
Oh, no, the last thing I want to ask is, has anybody ever tried to escape?
there's no one's ever succeeded. They've all had their wacky plans, but no one's ever succeeded in getting out.
For Bard.
Normally, they get tortured for a while, and that's about it.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, Grimhollow.
Don't mention it.
I go back with them.
All right, that's when Eowyn yells for you, anyways.
Yeah.
The driver whistled for him.
Oh yeah, then Drago whistle for you. All right, are you guys gonna chill out for a few hours here? To kind
Yeah, we're gonna tell Argus everything we learned.
All right, because you use your wolf powers and Argus, and you use your Shadowfell brand tattoos already, so
Yes.
now they're all reset,
Yes.
and you can like long rest,
Yes.
even though.
Okay.
All right,
Nice.
all right, Isaiah, we're back with Winston. He's hanging out the window as this guy just blew him out of the room, and you hear the door fling open, and there's like roll a perception check for me because you're hanging as all this is going down.
Natural 20.
All right, so there's 6 pairs of feet that you hear running up these stairs into this room, and the Jedediah thinks you've already fallen, and he screams in your mind, "Get out of here, you pretender!" What do you do?
One second. Let's see what this is. I'm going to go and I'm gonna cast invisibility.
Okay.
You're not gonna FTSIO?
Lightning bolt everyone.
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Yeah, I'm gonna cast invisibility and kind of like hang, but like get back up on the, on the ledge right there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that like they can't see me, but I'm like hiding.
Okay. Are you gonna stay in that area?
I'm gonna stay on like the ledge to sneak in.
Sneak back in?
Once all the guys leave.
Okay. So there, he like again. Now you think there's a lot of silence in this room where all these guys are, but there's not really. There's nothing that you can audibly hear, and you can assume that he's telepathically talking to them too.
Mm.
And then eventually you hear all of them leave.
I sneak back into the room, still invisible. I'm gonna kind of look around
Okay.
without like touching anything, because I can't like if I draw a drawer out, he's gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just
gonna
picture
look at-
you like
just gonna
saying
look
something to him, and all I'm seeing is the scene in the labyrinth when it's the the little worm on the wall. It's like, who said that? Who's talking to me?
All right. So what are you? So roll an investigation then for me, as you're looking around this room.
eight.
All right. So there's everything I've described before. You kind of realize there is a nightstand. That's pretty easy to notice. And there's 3 weird stones that are on this nightstand. But then, like that's it. But that you haven't noticed with your role of finding stuff in this room.
Okay.
And the tubes all feeding him.
So what do I think that those like? Do I know if those tubes have any correlation to his power?
No, you just you're assuming with all your vampire prowess that you have that he's thirsty
He's fat.
and he wants to drink as much as he can. Yeah, he's over like as downstairs is like an indulging factor. Upstairs is even more so for him.
Okay. What should I do?
I think you should. If it was me,
I'm gonna steal from the drawer, the side table.
Okay.
if it was
Good
me,
knowing you, bud.
I would definitely try to get him on your good side, get on his good side. Like some way, like is there anything I could do for you, or play it like I did with Xanning.
All right.
And
Psionically, still invisible. I'm gonna say. So you call me pretender, eh? And you are here getting fat, drinking blood all day?
That's not what I meant.
You call yourself a real elder vampire, one these people look up to as a ruler, and you are fat.
Winston, it was good knowing you, bud.
You
What would Lord
I-
Strahd think of this? That is the question.
Strahd. You know nothing of Strahd. He does not exist anymore. You think I'm nothing? Roll another dexterity saving throw.
You think that? You're dead. Sorry, it's good knowing you. Appreciate it.
23. I don't have a charge to use to survive. Or to automatically.
Same. So you get full effect for the half damage that you know I think is 28 now.
The effect.
Okay. So you're gonna fall from the new hole that blasts out of this wall, and you're gonna take 11 points of falling damage as you hit the ground, and you're on the sidewalk beside.
How much
the
HP do you
lounge.
have left?
Well, that's why I had to take the effect.
Yeah.
Because I'm at 13.
Okay, so you're not knocked out.
And then,
I was at 24 before that, so if I,
then
Yeah,
Winston
okay.
crawls back up to talk to him third time. Actually, what does Winston gotta do?
that.
I'm gonna do that. Screw this
Not to
guy,
talk to
I'm
him
gonna
this
back
time.
into that.
I'm just gonna steal from him this time. Because he didn't know where I was at, right? Like it's like a whole
it's
room
been
thing.
10 minutes because you had to wait. Obviously, you had to wait for them to leave. Then you had like a little sidebar conversation, decided what you're gonna do before the sidebar conversation. And
Okay.
then smacked out. You can use another slide to turn invisible again if you want.
Well, I would have to use a. Well, I guess kind of bonus action. I guess it
No,
doesn't matter,
my
right?
bad.
Yeah.
He's just kind of
Okay.
done with you.
So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go invisible and go back up there. No, this time I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna chill there for a while.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can't because it's only 10 minutes. I'm just gonna grab the 3 rocks and run. I'm gonna grab the 3 rocks and then Misty step out, which I know will break my concentration. Wait, will it?
Roll
It is
a
a-
dexterity saving throw with advantage. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Go for it.
And the worst part is
+6,
we know
so
he's
25.
stealing from a boss, like a crime.
Now
boss.
we do, yeah.
No, we don't. But I mean, as players, we know he's stealing. He doesn't know who this guy is.
Oh yeah, no.
Who
We,
he's
we know
stealing
he's stealing from one of the
from-
3 big bads in
Ain't
the
already
city.
pissing this dude off. So we're
Alright,
gonna have to deal with this.
so you have 3 rocks that as you grab and you misty step back out, the 30 feet, you take 4 points more of damage as you hit the ground because it's not 30 feet straight down. But then you are going to, now you have 3 rocks as you hear a scream, an audible scream in the same voice that's in your mind, ring out. And you have 3 rocks. Hopefully they're magical because you don't even know that because you didn't even roll an Arcana check on them yet.
Nope.
Alright.
North!
So I'm back on the street.
Yep.
I'm running back to them, like
Okay.
ASAP.
And running.
Alright, they're still in there, but you can't get
I
in
mean,
there.
I'm using. Well, I guess I don't need to be invisible if I'm in the street, right? I'm cool.
No, but you know that you've just made an enemy.
Yeah, I did do that.
Yep, that's something that happens, you see?
Alright, and now's Winston. So, Winston, as you're running back, the bell tower attached to this cathedral starts to toll. And literally everybody stops what they're doing and turns, and you're running like down the street trying to get out of the market square, and everybody starts moving in towards the market square. So like it's very hard for you to get out, but literally everybody's going there, like everyone. And you all watch as like you're back down from your rest because I'm giving it like Shadowfell works weird as far as time, so you're able to kind of rest but not rest at this moment because you can't really long rest at all in the Shadowfell. Just gonna say that there's not much sleep that's gonna happen here, but everybody starts leaving the bar too, even though this is their safe place. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check on that. Those rocks you got. I also thought it was really interesting that, because like each of these vampires, I didn't want it to be stagnant and feel like it's repetitive. They're very different. So like you chose the one that was most like you to go after at the very beginning,
Yeah.
like the go-to. I was like, oh, interesting. Alright, so these are dispelling stones. There's 3 of them. They're very rare, but they're like one use. So like you use it, and like any spell of 5th level or lower that's been cast is gone.
Nice.
So there's 3 of them. And that,
Stole the guy's rocks.
I did.
not as stones.
If the deck was in the drawer, though, I'd be sad.
Dude,
You
the deck
wouldn't-
was in the drawer.
you wouldn't have been in the
You
drawer.
got back down
Huh?
and like, had been
Remember,
like,
Thorne said it was in the same place that his mom was being held, or his wife was being held.
Mm.
It was in that
every
castle.
single time I've been over, I smacked my head on it.
I was gonna make some kind of joke there, but I didn't know what to make.
Every time I bend over, man.
Every time.
Alright,
Every time.
Hey, I'm still gonna try to come get Bell tomorrow.
I was gonna ask about that. I didn't know how you felt about doing that.
If I feel good.
Are those like part of a different book?
I don't know if they're.
Because hold on, you can write them down. 3 dispelling stones.
Oh, 3 dispelling stones. Nice.
Single use. Dispel 5th level or lower.
Ooh,
Let me try to see if I can add it to Winston.
better to be lucky than good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So they can dispel 5th level or higher.
Lower.
One-time use.
No, so Winston and Isaiah probably would have taken note that they kind of mocked Strahd and said he was dead.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought that was a little interesting. Strahd's name still makes anyone.
Which would have been weird for Winston because, like, what were the stories that that he heard growing up? Like Strahd was like the super big bad guy. Yeah.
And he wasn't even that bad. I'm scared. I'm so scared.
God.
Alright, you should have 3 of them now if you're fresh. Let me check. Or you make sure. Alright, so Winston, like the town square is filling up as you're running back towards where you left them. Everybody's filing out of this inn, including the bartenders, like about to walk out and leave. And you guys are like the only group in there now. So what are y'all doing? And then Winston, you can tell me how you approaching this situation.
So everybody walked out of the bar. Everybody, even the bartender, left. So anyone's gonna look at Drago and go, "We should probably go outside because Winston can't get back in here, and whatever they're doing seems important."
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We can take a little walk.
All right. Not far.
Are you okay if we go outside for a bit?
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay. I mean, I think that's what they're doing too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Winston, as you're running back, like you notice that some people already have stopped because they are in the market square, and they're just looking up towards seemingly nothing, just the top of this dome where the Shadowfell is.
That's the Knights dropping stuff off. Well, Winston actually doesn't know that. Do I see them yet?
They haven't come out yet, but you can still, like, if that's what you want to do, I'm not gonna make you roll to get with them.
Yeah, no, I'm still looking for them.
Okay. So eventually, you make it. It's like working through a crowd at a crowded, like a concert or like maybe Disney World. Ugh. Flashbacks. Alright, but you're like walking through that, and they're all walking towards you with everybody else, and where you all stop, there's literally thousands of undead and all these different 2 types of humanoids that are in the city that are all looking up at this point and above.
Don't leave it over here. I'll eat the whole bag.
What are y'all doing in preparation for whatever may happen?
I'm gonna roll. Would that be perception? See if I can see Bart.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
While he does that, I'm gonna roll investigation to see if I can investigate
16.
if I can see Bart.
Plus 7.
You have a 7 plus 7 for
Perception,
investigation.
I said.
Oh, perception.
Yeah.
That's epic, dude.
Pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
So you're like scanning the crowds, and you're looking, and everybody else is looking up
Skeleton.
besides your
Pirate,
group.
Skeleton pirate. Skeleton.
And you catch the eyes, like probably like 100 people and like 150 feet to your left. There is a swashbuckler that has a pirate's hat on, double cutlers, and has something strapped across his back that is not looking up. He's looking at you, and is you have found
I'm like,
Bart there.
Driver. Bart. I found Bart. And he's not looking up. He's looking at me.
I wave at him. I point at him. And I go this.
And he goes, he audibly or inaudibly puts his finger to his mouth, taps his wrist, and points to the sky. And he says, kind of does like the after motion, like after.
What the heck?
I give him a thumbs up.
What in the heck is going on right now?
Do you say anything as you you meet them?
Oh, you see us?
You-
Yeah,
I-
then
I-
there-
he's
run
with
into
you.
you guys. I'm like,
Winston.
guys,
What's
I
up?
don't know what just happened.
Also, he looks like shit. So
That-
Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Dang, Winston, you look like crap right now.
What's up, my dude?
The other vampires did not want to talk.
Other vampires?
At least the fat one.
Wait a minute. Fat?
And as Eowyn says fat, there's a cheer that rings out in the crowd. And on top of the castle that is like hulking, not like our castle, there's 3 different figures that emerge. One of them looks like he's out of breath getting up there. One of them's jacked beyond measure, so this is our other guy. And one of them is the most beautiful. You can see in the distance, she just looks like the hottest piece of work that's ever walked the earth, right? And they're all 3 just sitting up there on like very ornate.
As you look to your right again,
Thrones.
you don't see Winston anymore. Like he's there, you know he's there, but you don't see him. He's invisible.
Winston's burned all his spell slots already.
He said that one.
He hasn't rested yet.
Hmm?
You
No,
haven't
he
rested
hasn't.
yet.
He has 9 HP right now, I think, right?
Correct.
All right, and so the cheering stops as they take their seats. And are you guys gonna do anything? There's gonna be a hole that appears above where everybody's looking in this Shadowfell, and it opens outward, and this hue of kind of like a dark almost. It is very indistinguishable from the actual Shadowfell that's around it. You can barely tell that there was an opening, but the fact that it's just a slightly different color clues you in on, like, there's a hole there.
Drago looks at it and kind of goes, that's not good.
No.
All right.
And that one? The big fat one?
That's
Like-
the one.
The one that is up there in front of everybody because he's probably super important?
Winston, what did you do?
I stole these stones.
From
Yeah,
that
like-
fat guy?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Do you
I
think
told
those
you
are the
that-
three vampire lords?
There's definitely got to be who those guys are.
Alright.
Well, he's definitely a vampire, and
Far-
he's definitely stronger than me.
If our bartender was
Listen,
telling us the truth,
you
then
take the big guy.
that's Jedediah. Does that sound familiar?
That's what he said.
Oh, thank God.
The other Jack one, his name's Victor. And then the real hot one, her name's Drusilla.
Drusilla.
Drusilla. They rule this entire area.
Well, I
Good job
I,
stealing from him.
I stole the stones, so he was fat and he called me an imposter.
That sounds about what Winston would say.
Winston, your temper.
What are the stones?
All right, so about that point, because these 3 figures start to descend out of the darkness, you can see their armored bodies, and they land, and they are like way away from you. All right, so don't think that you're within 30 feet of them. Like, this is elevated in the town square, so like you can actually see it in the distance, but you're not. You're probably like 1,000 feet away from them because of all the people that are in there. And there's a wagon that descends with them with a bunch of different, like, you can see some like rations falling off of the side and a couple barrels of ale. And then there's another one, it's like a prisoner transport, and half of it is like dead bodies that you can see, and half of it is like living people that are
Hey,
throughout the city.
that's the Knights. The Knights of the Raven Queen.
Oh, yeah, they've got the medallion.
He said they would be here in a couple hours. It's been a couple hours.
That is true.
And look how they kind of honor them.
And there's a hush. So there's a couple people around you that look at you, as you're whispering still, because like no one's talking now. And the one addresses the front guy. Actually, no, this one would be the one that addresses it. The more armored but holding a staff one addresses the whole crowd and says, "We have brought your supplies!" And they say, "The Night Mother guides us," but all in unison. And again, you get some weird looks. Is like you don't say it.
Yeah.
Like,
Night Mother guides us.
Yeah.
there's a weird echo that they don't hear because they're too far away.
I'm gonna try to sneak. Hey, I'm gonna try to slowly make my way to the front while looking up like everybody else.
Oh God.
All right, roll a stealth check.
I'm sorry, I got this thing at like full level
Okay.
stealth. Where's that at?
I'll have the Night Mother. Praise the Night Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, praise the Night Mother. Praise it. She's great.
There you go.
She's great.
She's great. Praise the Night Mother.
23.
Yeah.
All right, so you don't see any of the people kind of like taking issue with that, but now you guys are back here. Argus is a little further up. All right, and he says, the voice from the front again says, "What payment should you make for all of this generosity from your Night Mother?" And there's a lady. You can only tell by the sound of her voice because she's all covered in feathers and beaky, but she screams like out like, "No, no!" as she's being brought up to this group. And where it says she looks kind of, she's represented by this. She's like, "Please, no, please." And like everybody is like comforting her in the crowd, but like understanding this is part of it. And there is a guy that is back further, being held back by like two, looks like vampire spawn that are here. That is like struggling, like a male bird creature, Aarakocra, that's trying to grab at this female one. And she's like, "Please, no,
If we
please."
stay here too long, we're gonna be next.
Do you think they'll turn on the water next?
Argus, what are you doing?
This has a very Mad Max vibe.
I'm trying to get closer to her.
She's on the stage. You're about 1,000 feet from her. So unless you start pushing people and like going like ham, you're like 900 feet from her now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start pushing people.
Okay. So your stealth doesn't really apply anymore.
Nope.
All right. You feel like as you hear this voice say, "We welcome you, your sacrifice, young lady." And this, the one with the staff pulls the woman the rest of the way on stage. There's actually a hand that grabs at you too, Argus.
Do we see it? Do we see this going on? Do we see him, or are we too far away from
You see him, and you see that the skeletal man that Eowyn was tracking is now with Argus. As Argus turns, and the skeletal man is right next to him.
Great. What's Ari doing? Oh, thank God. Bart got a hold of him.
Is that Bart?
And yeah, he just grabs your arm.
No.
Argus,
I say, "What are you doing?" I'm trying to get closer so I can rescue that.
you'll descend the whole city down on us, mate. You can't. You have to let it ride. The elder vampires control the vampire spawn. If we try to rise up against them without taking said vampires out, there's no way we can withstand their legions.
So we're just sit here and watch.
I'm afraid so. And he gives you this like socketless eyeball stare that looks right into your soul. What does Argus do? Because the lady is now being like held by the other two knights that were with the one that has a staff, and the guy with the staff is good at turn. to address the woman.
I'll wait and see what happens.
Drago's just kind of smoking his cigar. That's just all that's happening. He kind of got his, robe over his head, the hood. He's watching it. And he kind of like putting his head down like this, and he's smoking like, not me. Like, better you than me.
All right. So the leader of
You just see
this
smoke rising from Winston's invisible pipe.
the leader of this the Shadow Legion, who has just a staff, pulls a very ornate dagger out and takes and rises up the dagger and slowly, not in striking motion, places it on the temple of the woman. And the woman lets out a whimper that is audibly louder, like a million times than a whimper should be, because it reverberates through the entire crowd. And everybody kind of shudders all at once, because whatever is happening, they know what's happening.
Mhm.
And then he turns as the woman looks dazed afterwards. She's not out. She's not unconscious. And he says, "The Night Mother guide us." And they all repeat, "The Night Mother guide us." And then he says, "And thanks you for your sacrifice." And with that, they fly back up into the opening in the Shadowfell, and it closes, and the vampire spawn let go.
They who?
What? What do you mean?
You said they go up into the air. Who's they?
The Shadow Legion goes back up into the air to from where they came without their
Nice.
provisions.
Okay.
And the Shadowfell closes once again around them, and the husband or father or whatever runs to this woman who's on this pedestal and starts comforting her, and like there's still not any sounds going out through the crowd, and he's like, it's okay, they're gone, I'm here, your love is here. And she goes, "Who are you?" And like he starts sobbing, and he walks away at that point, away from her, and she leaves the stage, and everything slowly but surely returns to some semblance of normalcy.
Drago leans over to Argus and says, "Hey, you remember that goat story? That
Argus is not with you at the moment.
Oh, that's right." He leans over to Aelin and says, "Remember that goat story that you found me? The goat? I think I found a way to wipe my memory."
Dude, I need my memory wiped. I don't know about yours.
All right, so what's everybody doing? This like the crowd is dispersing. The people that were on top of the castle, the 3 elder vampires, have left the area.
I'm gonna try to talk to that woman.
All right, yeah, I mean he's gonna talk to you, and now they can get a clear path to you if you guys just want to walk, be together.
I'm gonna walk towards Bart
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I want to do.
and talk to him.
Okay.
I will talk to the BA.
All right, so you all are all there together as Argus starts his conversation. So Argus, go ahead and start your conversation with him.
Why did you stop me?
I told you, you can't. There's no way of getting through that. If you had tried to stop this woman from losing her memory, then every one of the elder vampires would call on their vampire spawn and come down on us all at once.
Well, what happened to her?
There's like a few hundred. The Night Mother took what she wanted, which was memories precious to the woman.
We just let it happen.
The vibe I'm getting, Argus, is that there was not let anything happen. It was going to happen. You were either going to die, and it was going to happen, or you weren't going to die, and it was going to happen.
No, I realize that.
You all look like a group that I've kind of been I've been waiting for this opportunity for a while.
And you kind of look like a man with a lot of answers. So we have a lot of questions that need answering.
Yep. And the bartender of that place that the undead can't come in, or whatever that bar is called.
Oh, don't get me started on that.
I know, I'm
So
sorry.
discriminatory.
But the bartender told us to find you, that you would be able to help us out.
Alright, and when he said discriminatory, he looks at you like for you to nod in agreement. Before he's listening to you. And he says, "We can talk, but not on this field. We can go to my abode."
Well, let's go. Let's get out of here.
At least for now, it's safe.
Yeah, let's go.
And that's where we'll end our session.
That was